Hi everyone, we are Group 3. Welcome you to our presentation on topic Translation Procedures. Our presentation is divided into three parts. The first is warm-up, the second is revision, and the last is games for practice. Now, we will go through 10 translation procedures with the definition and examples of each procedures. And you can see all of them on the screen. And let me start with the first translation procedures, literal translation. It is the direct transfer of the source text into the target language in a grammatically idiomatically proper way. It is used when the words not only refer to the same thing, but have similar associations, or when the meaning of the source language is most affected by its content in such a way that the meaning of the target language unit does not correspond to it. Here are some examples of this type. Open the door. It is translated into Vietnamese, mở cửa ra. Time is go, thời gian là vàng. Time is as a rabbit, nhát như thỏ đế. And the second translation procedure is transference. Transference is a source language word that is directly taken into target language text with no translation. We use it when we meet proper names, geographical names, names of companies and institutions, literary words, addresses, and so on, or when we meet new technical terms that do not have equivalents in such language. And the purpose of this type is to give local color, attract the readers, give a sense of intimacy between the source language and the target language readers. And we have an argument that this type shows respect for the source language country's cultural or translator's job is to translate, explain. We have an example of this. Taylor Swift is the Hollywood star that I love most because she is very talented and beautiful. As you can see, Hollywood is translated into Vietnamese with no change. And the third is naturalization. It is a transferred word is adapted to the target language about pronunciation and morphology. And for example, recently Hồ Ngọc Hà has had a new scandal with a rich man, and scandal is translated into Vietnamese si căng đàn. And the first one is cultural equivalence. It's a source language cultural word or expression is translated by a target language cultural word considered equivalent to it. And the purpose of this is bridge the cultural overlap between two languages. And we have an example. He graduated after obtaining a degree with high distinction, and a degree with high distinction is loại xuất sắc in Vietnamese by cultural equivalence. And the five things a functional equivalence. It is the using a cultural free word or expression in a translation for a cultural word or expression in the source text. And it is used to occupy the middle, sometimes the universal area between the source language or cultural and the target language or cultural. An example of this is White House policies in White House policies is translated into Vietnamese with những chính sách của chính phủ Mỹ. Okay, and the sixth is descriptive equivalence. It is generalization of a such language control word by using an explanation, and is used to give target language readers a clear image of a such language concept. We have example. Lúc ở Việt Nam, sáng nào tôi cũng đi ăn bún thang. And bún thang in Vietnamese is translated in English is bún thang with the descriptive equivalent. Bún thang is vermicelli soup with chicken, eggs, and pork. The seventh is through translation, called loan translation, and is the literal translation of common collocations, names of organizations, the components of compounds and phrase. We use it in already recognized terms and international organization. As example, TPP, Trans-Pacific Strategy Economic Partnership Agreements, is translated into Vietnamese as Hiệp định Đối tác Xuyên Thái Bình Dương. And next is shift or transposition. The definition of this is a transit in the grammar from such language to the target language. We use it when we meet a such language grammatical structure does not exist in the target language, or when literal translation is grammatically possible but may not accord with the natural uses in the such language. We have some common types of shift, as mean we translated into singular to plural, verb in noun or adverb, complex sentence into simple sentence, reason to verb now. And for example, my decision was that I would give up the work I loved. And my decision is divided into Vietnamese as tôi quyết định sẽ từ bỏ công việc chán ngắt ấy. And the next is modulation. Modulation is a variation through a change of viewpoint or perspective in very often a category of thoughts. It is the definition of Vinay and dominance. We have some types of modulation. First is abstract for concrete, cause for effect, one part for another, reversal of terms, change of symbols, intervals and limits, active for passive, and last, double negative for positive. Here's the example. This phrase is not totally worthless. And you can see we have two negative and it's called the one positive. Cái bình này cũng có một chút giá trị. Or you should hold the tongue. And the tongue has a both meaning in Vietnamese mồm or miệng. Cậu phải giữ mồm giữ miệng đấy. And the last translation procedure is couplets. Couplets is couplets, triplets, quadruplets combine 2, 3, or 4 of the above procedures to deal with a single problem, particularly for control words. For example, marketing staff often have buffets after an advertising campaign. And you can see in this example we combine two kind of translation procedure to make the perfect to cost cup list for with tra- with method transference is marketing and naturalization a buffet. Yeah, and that the end of our presentation about the 10 translation procedure. Thanks for watching.